run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, brothers and 50s and 20s, no fives and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me, cause I know she can count it up. She try to be nosy and hit her leg, she like, girl, you can count. We need more, tell her we need more. Put numbers on the board, like we keep a score. Hey, 16.
Well, Coach, the calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Hey, right on cue, they set up the screen and complete it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Well, Charles, you just said it a bit ago that the screen might work. Sure enough, you were right.
You know how it works, partner. You throw enough stuff up on the board, eventually something sticks.
Give yourself a little bit of credit.
Okay, one thing did.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Out of the gun now on third down. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
They'll go with a big bank Fournette, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on fourth down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
They'll
set up to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. Well, they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
First down, Denver.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check. Alert 3. Under 10.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. Man open. He's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 43.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
To throw on 3rd down. Fields. Well, he's going to go for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 19-yard line.
Chad Hunt. 15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie. All day, baby, all day.
2nd and 11. And he will find his man on the outside. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll set up the throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Let's go.
sometimes a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
At the 35-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. They're connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Now Leonard Fournette. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Come on, set. 70 in. Set hut. Check safety 61. Matchbox, right. Twist. Watch the twist. Hut, hut.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
This is Fournette. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
What you got?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go jet sweep here with Chark, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
On the ready. 51 for Mike. Hey, they're scared. They're scared. Charlie. Ready.
Back to throw, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. From the shotgun, it's a give to McCoy. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Well, second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Switch! Hey, watch it, watch it.
Operating from the gun, Fields. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
No.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Looking to throw. Fields. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Fields. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Broncos have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, Reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And he completes it to Westbrook. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. 44 is the mic. 44 is mic. Go, go. Wrap it, wrap it.
Here's 2nd and 8. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Fields. He finds McCoy. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. On first down, it's McCoy, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Fields. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 18.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch twitch. Watch twitch. Check 26. Check 26.
To throw again. Fields. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Let's go. Wild, 64, weak. Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 42. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. McCoy. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, Fields. Robinson's got it. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They wound up getting nothing out of that 2nd down completion. So now here's 3rd and 10. And the blitz does come. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
On 1st and 10, Fields. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. Off the play fake. Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun, Fields. He completes this to Sutton. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Now McCoy. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Fournette, a first down carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. They're going to look to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw. Fields. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Josh Allen drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A good pickup there, 21 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Back to throw now on first down. That one complete. He finds Shark. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and 5. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. 9 yards that time. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
On the run, it's Fournette. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Fournette. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He'll look to throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark in the final minute. And they have taken the lead here in the final minute. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught at the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there in the final minute, and the Broncos have retaken the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Extra point good by Hopkins. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that one. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up. 1st and goal at the 5.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the Jaguars' 6-yard line.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it's never easy to come into Denver to win. You think all you have to deal with the altitude, but they got the job done.
Well, there's a reason Olympic athletes train nearby. All right, they've got a terrific training center in Colorado Springs. You train at the altitude, the lungs expand, you go down to the regular, oh my goodness, they can go all day. And in fact, a lot of visiting teams, when you visit Denver, you know what's printed in your locker room? Welcome to the Mile High City. The air is rare. They get in your head that way.
So for the Broncos, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.